Okay, thanks, Kenton. And our team coverage continues tonight. We start at the lake tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Now, remember, the lake is getting some of that snow a lot later than other parts of our viewing area. KMUA's Elise Schoenig joins there now. And Elise, how much has changed from just earlier today?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. It is snowing. It is cold. It is starting to cover some cars and some of the roads here along the Bagnell Dam Strip. You can see this car. It's accumulated snow even over just the last 30 minutes we've been out here. I'll tell you right now, I have hand warmers in. My lips starting to not be able to feel them anymore. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like out here along this strip, which again was clearer most of the day earlier today, but now starting to get covered again. Now the Bagnell Dam Strip, when we're talking about that, that's a common tourist area here at the Lake of the Ozarks, but let's see what you're looking at right now. That's what it looked like today. It was covered in snow and empty. I talked to one of the few local businesses that was open today at the lake, and they told me that they had a slow start to their morning.
Yeah, it took me 40 minutes to get here of what usually takes a 2-minute trip.
And again, we will continue to have those live updates throughout the rest of our newscast tomorrow morning on KOMU8 News Today. We'll continue to tell you what you need to know about the weather out here as that snow continues to accumulate like our First Alert Weather team is tracking. But for now, reporting live in the Lake of the Ozarks, Elise Schoenig, KOMU8 News.
All right, Elise, go warm up. Thank you.
And remember, schools aren't the only thing closed today in Columbia. Many local businesses owners had to stay home during the snow.
KMUA's Chase Madsen is live downtown. And Chase, what did you see out there today?
Well, Emily, I spent the afternoon around downtown and only a handful of businesses were open. I spoke to a few of those business owners asking, why were you open today and was it worth it?
As snow began painting the streets of downtown Columbia white, many local businesses closed their doors on Wednesday. But for one local business owner, that wasn't going to roll with him.
Well, it wasn't really a choice. We just, we're open every day, 7 days a week. It's how we roll.
Booch's owner Richard Robertson shared similar thoughts.
I think one of the traditions down here is that when the weather's bad, we still try and open.
And with few businesses open, Bud's Barbecue and Booch's saw great turnouts.
We usually get a good crowd because there's a lot of people still working. They want to go out and get something to eat.
Oh, we were busy from Jump Street.
For Bud's Barbecue, the cooking process starts over a day before the food is served, making them prepared for a snow day.
We spend about 24 hours putting together something that you'll crush in about 3 minutes.
Both owners enjoyed the weather and were happy to keep customers satisfied.
I love it. It's beautiful.
It was good. It was a good day. It was definitely worth being open.
Expect both Bud's Barbecue and Booch's to be open tomorrow. And for what I saw today, it looks like they're going to have a lot of brisket and burgers to go around. Live in downtown Columbia, Chase Madsen, KOMU8 News.
Chase, making us hungry out there. As the next round of snow returns tonight, the Missouri State Highway Patrol continues to monitor state highways.
KOMU8's Matt Paskowitz joins us here in the studio to tell us what they're doing.
Noah, KOMU8 spoke to Troop F of the State Highway Patrol today. With the interstate covered in snow, Troop F has taken action. Corporal Kyle Green says they have troopers out 24 hours a day for the next several days because of the storm. He says the best thing for drivers to do is to stay home. However, if you do have to be out on these roads, he says to be prepared and do it safely. He says the roads are slick and they have seen some crashes already.
Just make sure that you slow down, make sure that you've got your seatbelt on, make sure you increase your following distance. The majority of the crashes we work at this time of year with weather are usually speed related.
He says when you look out, it doesn't look too bad, but drivers think differently when they're on the road. Reporting in the studio, Matt Paskowitz, KOMU8 News.
Plenty of plows were on the roads and people were out shoveling in Jefferson City today. Some of the main roads were mostly cleared there, but they won't stay that way for long. Cole County Public Works says to avoid driving at all costs. That's because, of course, that snow on the roads is covering a thin layer of ice. One woman did take advantage of her day off, though, with her dog.
It's been a really mild winter thus far, so it's good to get a little bit of accumulated snowfall out here. Yeah, we're just taking advantage of the accumulated snow that we normally don't get here in mid-Missouri.
The Cole County Public Works plow teams are fully staffed and have been working around the clock. The first group of workers finished their 18-hour shifts at 6 p.m. Now they have an 8-hour break before they're back on at 4 a.m.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts with breaking news.
We start this evening with breaking news. Today, the University of Missouri and its Interfraternity Council announced it has temporarily suspended all fraternity activities effective immediately. Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us. The activities that are suspended include social events and university-sanctioned events. The suspension comes after police responded to the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, also known as Fiji, early this morning for a report of a freshman who was unresponsive. KOMU 8's Logan Perrone joins us outside of that fraternity house where students are protesting. Logan.
Noah, hundreds have gathered on Kentucky Boulevard to protest the actions of Phi Gamma Delta. But the university's decision, that's going to affect all IFC members. Some of those IFC members, they had events this week, even tonight, canceled. Now, I spoke to the first protester to show up tonight who stressed the importance of this crowd.
We're here because we want the IFC, the Greek Life Council, and Mizzou higher-ups to understand that this is an issue to us. We can get the email, we can read it, and then we can close our inbox, but this is so much bigger of an issue that's been not focused on for such a long period of time.
We currently do not know the condition of the student in the hospital at this time. However, the university did note that they will be conducting a review of the Greek system that will include fraternity safety. Live on News Campus, Logan Perrone, KOMU 8 News.
A call for help. How Ukraine's president wants the U.S. to get involved in fighting Russia and how much President Biden is planning to give.
If whoever kills someone, you're not God. You have no compassion.
Givens in court. A woman charged with murdering a child in Cole County had a hearing today. We'll tell you when she could be heading to trial.
But, I have to raise boys, whatever happens.
1 year later, what one Mid-Missouri pastor says needs to be done to stop anti-Asian hate 1 year after those deadly attacks targeting Asian women in Atlanta.
Everything has gone up a lot.
Plus, paying more for milk, while you could be seeing a price increase for dairy products. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Tonight, concerns are mounting about access to health care for rural Missourians. This comes days after two hospitals announced limited services in Audrain and Callaway County. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. KOMU 8's Avery Everett joins live outside the Callaway Community Hospital after hearing some concerns on what this all means for rural communities.
The concern is over what's going to happen in crisis situations. For many Mid-Missourians, this hospital is their home base for all medical emergencies. Now they're going to have to consider taking a longer drive or meeting new doctors in dire situations. Now let's take a look at what we know so far when it comes to Noble Health, Audrain, and Callaway Community Hospitals. The first announcement of the technology issues came Saturday on Facebook. The hospitals say they're stopping inpatient admissions and diverting EMS services to other area hospitals. Physicians' offices and specialty clinics at both facilities will continue to stay open. In a combined statement, the community hospitals say, quote, "We are working hard to resolve the issue and, as always, are putting patients first in every decision we make. We will keep the community in the loop as the issue is resolved," end quote. For the executive director of the Missouri Rural Health Association, any time with limited hospital services is a time to be concerned.
Anytime a rural hospital closes or suspends emergency services, it's always losing access to care in any area, whether it be rural, urban, or suburban.
Noble Health has yet to tell us what exactly that timeline is going to look like to fix those IT issues. Reporting live in Fulton, I'm Avery Everett, KOMU 8 News.
You're taking a live look over the U.S. Capitol, where today Ukraine's president appeared virtually, asking the U.S. Congress to help stop Russia's invasion. But President Biden has already said certain requests from President Zelensky will not happen. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The president did say he'll be sending $800 million to help Ukraine. Let's start on Capitol Hill tonight. Today, Zelensky asked U.S. Congress to send more supplies to help Ukraine fight Russia. During the video chat, he reminded Congress members of Pearl Harbor and 9/11, reminding them that at one time the U.S. experienced similar struggles. Zelensky also asked for a no-fly zone to prevent more attacks on the country. In an exclusive interview with Lester Holt tonight, Zelensky says President Biden has a choice to make.
You delivered a very passionate speech to Congress. You once again renewed your call for a no-fly zone. As you know, that's a non-starter in this country. But you also made the pitch for an alternative, and that's the fighter planes. Do you think that President Biden is inching closer to perhaps reconsidering transferring fighter planes to Ukraine?
Well, this is the choice for the President Biden to take, and the whole civilized world would need to take. And hopefully that choice would coincide with the choice of the Ukrainian people, because currently Russia has an advantage in the air. Our partners can support us from the standpoint of supporting and supplying of those aircraft.
The U.S. will be sending more anti-aircraft, anti-armor weapons and drones to Ukraine. President Biden says the U.S. isn't alone in helping Ukraine.
And we're not doing this alone. Our allies and partners have stepped up to provide significant shipments of security assistance and will continue to help facilitate these deliveries as well.
President Biden also told a reporter today that Russian President Vladimir Putin is a war criminal. Russia responded to that comment, saying they won't tolerate him saying things like that. This came just a day after the Senate asked for international investigations of Putin for war crimes.
Access to emergency services. How Mid-Missourians are reacting to 2 hospitals limiting their services.
Affordable housing. How Columbia residents could improve the housing program.
Plus, a new coach in town. Mizzou's new men's basketball coach lays out some lofty goals for the program. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Well, you'll have to follow the yellow brick road to get your hands on this gem. All the details coming up next.